What's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy Mikey Raider coming to you live from my living room on my couch after a big game victory with my post-game Monday Night Football Raiders versus Ravens review. Let me see if I can get the lighting a little bit better. All right, this is going to be an honest, no holds barred opinion from Mikey Raider. Some call me the critical Raider lately, the hateful Raider lately, the cynical Raider lately. I don't care. I'm a Raider for life. I know it. So your stupid judgment doesn't affect me. But the truth is, I am a cynical Raider fan. Not because I was sued by the NFL and the Raiders, basically. And it's just because they lose so much. They tend to lose. They don't make playoffs. There's a lot of struggles. And I'm going to be the first to tell you I'm a Gruden hater. That one I'm proud of. But he is our coach and I have to deal with it. So, regardless of that, I am a Raider fan. And I'm going to give you my honest opinion on the game and the season moving forward after watching the Monday night game. First off, let's go with good and bad and ugly, or good and bad, positive and negative, whatever way you want to do it. Let's start with the good. Our defense came out to play. I was really excited early on to see what they did, how they were coming out with passion in a new scheme. The young players were playing up to their ability. They did have a few mistakes, a few coverage mistakes with the running back Tyson Williams and whatnot, but they were holding their own and they weren't giving up. But one surprise thing that happened before the game is I haven't had a chance to read into it, but Clelin Ferrell was inactive. I don't know if it was due to injury or he was just a healthy scratch. That's kind of interesting to know that Clelin Ferrell, our first round pick, might have been a healthy scratch or inactive. That doesn't bode well for him moving forward because I thought he should get better this year and play a big game. Then Yannick Ngakoue came in and he was out real quick with an injury, a hamstring. So that gave the opportunity for Carl Nassib to play a little bit and get a showcased feature on Monday Night Football where they showcased him coming out as gay and they did a little bit of a 2-minute featurette on Carl Nassib. That's a conspiracy theory. I told Murph on last week's show that they were going to parade Carl Nassib out there and he was going to have a big play or two and they were going to talk about him live on Monday Night Football. It happened. There's nothing wrong with it. Was it pre-planned? I do not know, but still, it happened. But our defense, they played well. They played well, and they got some big turnovers. They got some big turnovers that we did not get last year. I don't want to go into all the details. They had a graphic of John Gruden and little Chucky walking around showing how bad our defense has been the previous couple seasons, and it was hilarious, but it's not hilarious to think of our defense that way. But we held our own against Lamar Jackson. We gave up too many good runs and too many angles, but we didn't crumble. The game went to overtime and we didn't crumble. They were still fighting, and you got to applaud Max Crosby. After Yannick Ngakoue went out, who else did we have on the edge to really rush? It was Max Crosby. Carl Nassib came in, did okay. He actually looked okay. But Max Crosby not only had tackles, making plays in the backfield, running around Lamar Jackson, almost getting him on every opportunity, probably had like 7 or 8 tackles and maybe 2 sacks in the game. He's got to be the MVP for the game, in my opinion, on defense. And I like what I saw out of Gus Bradley's defense. Okay? So that was the good and the bad of the defense. I talked about the bad, the giving up angles and stuff like that, but I talked about the good. I'm not saying our defense has really figured it out just yet, but we're definitely in the top 20 of defenses holding our own against, let's call it, an injured Ravens running back roster as well. Now, for the offense, we won the game. We won the game. So any critique or criticism I'm about to give is null and void. But I had some issues with the offense. Okay? We won the game. But Gruden had 3 months to plan for the Ravens on offense. We had 3 preseason games to put the offense in there in any one of the preseason games to get a little bit of chemistry. Let's be honest, the first quarter and a half of the entire game, the Raiders were not getting it done. They looked one-dimensional. Ruggs, whoever, was never getting open. It was the Darren Waller show, and they were missing connections. The running game, again with Josh Jacobs' toe injury and illness, wasn't looking so hot. And the offensive line was missing incognito, but I'm not giving excuses. We've had 3 months to plan for the Ravens, and we had time to put the Raiders starters in a position to get some chemistry before this game, and John Gruden chose not to. Coaching decision. I didn't want nobody to get injured. Well, they got injured anyway. Incognito got injured. He didn't play. Josh Jacobs got injured anyway, but he still played. Do you understand what I'm saying? That chemistry, even for 1 quarter in the preseason, with Derek Carr and the starters, should have been done, and I'm pissed off about it. That being said, we're one-dimensional. It's still basically the Darren Waller show. Again, if it works, don't stop it. He's the GOAT. Derek Carr, Darren Waller, that's all they know. Derek Carr was trying to thread the needle to Henry Ruggs on a few occasions early. Did not work out. Henry Ruggs, Brian Edwards, they're still so damn young. So damn young that they're not getting it done. But that brings me to some of the good from the offense. When the shit hit the fan, we were down by like 14 points, and we still crawled our way back into the game. Then toward the end of the game, going into overtime, Brian Edwards stepped up. Henry Ruggs made a play or two, stepped up. Hunter Renfrow, always on third down or whatever, getting it done. So, are we lacking a true veteran, speedy, always open wide receiver? Yes, we are. We got backups as starters. Let's just be honest. But they're going to get better, and they proved it by the end of this game. They kept fighting through injuries, however they were feeling. They made some big plays, and that is what I'm talking about that makes me feel good. That makes me feel good. But John Gruden, on occasion, well, let's call it a lot of occasions, lacks the killer instinct. There's like third down and 12, and then they go for a pass and there's a penalty or something. So somehow they lose 2 yards towards the goal line. Now it's third down and 14. They only lost 2 yards. But now they're not going for it. Now they're handing the ball off, and they're just going to concede fourth down and punt the ball with A.J. Cole. Well, if you were going to go for it on 3rd and 12 with a pass, then you got the penalty. You moved back 2 yards because we were in the goal line area. Now you're just going to run it and concede. If you're going to pass it on 3rd and 12, you might as well pass it on 3rd and 14. But I digress. He got worried for whatever reason. He handed the ball off. They gained like 1 yard. Then he kicked it. Then there was an opportunity somewhere in the game where it was 3rd and 1, and we couldn't even get a yard. They handed it to Jacobs or whoever, and I'm not going to give excuses. Our offensive line had a bunch of penalties. Our young offensive line, they held their own. They got the job done, but I'm very, very concerned. The chemistry wasn't there. We couldn't get 1 yard when we needed to get a first down. We were in field goal territory at that point. We could have kicked the field goal at least, so we went for it on like 4th and 1. We didn't convert. So we lost a 3-point opportunity. I think it was somewhere in the 3rd quarter, maybe. If we can't get 1 yard in today's NFL, you don't deserve to be in the NFL, in my opinion. John Gruden lacks the killer instinct sometimes. And the same thing goes for Derek Carr. Again, it's like third. There was one point it was like third and 20, 22, or something like that. And then Derek Carr throws a check down. But we're like at the 45-yard line, and we're going to punt the ball. And he doesn't go for a deep pass. It was at a critical moment in the game. Maybe 6 or 7 minutes left in the game. We're down by 7. And it's third and 22 due to all these penalties or whatever the hell happened. And then Derek Carr just throws a little check down, or they hand the ball off. I don't remember one. But they didn't go for it. They didn't have any killer instinct. People are saying, well, that's good. That's a good play for Derek Carr. He didn't create a turnover. Well, think about this. We're down by 7. We're at the 45. It's third and 24, or third and 22 it might have been. You got Henry Ruggs. Why not throw a deep ball? Try to get it to him. Why not? If it's intercepted, it's like a punt anyway. If it's caught, we get a first down. We're in field goal territory, maybe going for a touchdown. It livens up the crowd. If it's intercepted, who cares? If it's dropped, who cares? If it's fumbled, caught and fumbled, who cares? They're not going to return it for a touchdown. We're probably going to tackle them, so it becomes like a punt anyway. I just think there's moments and opportunities for the Raiders to take chances, and they don't. And that builds chemistries. But I know it was game 1, so I'm going to give the Raiders and Gruden and Carr more excuses. All right? That being said, and the only reason I'm giving them excuses, let's be honest, is because we got a big W. And look, Zay Jones came in, caught a big pass. It was the perfect play call by Jon Gruden, but there was penalties at the end where it went into overtime because of stupid penalties and play calling and time management mistakes. It was ridiculous. We gave them every opportunity to take that game away from us, but we got it through in the end. But still, even at the end, when Brian Edwards caught that ball and it looked like a touchdown, they brought it back to the half-yard line. And then we had like 4 opportunities, and we didn't get it in, and there's penalties, and next thing you know, we're backed up, and they get the ball back. Then our defense played good. We got the ball back. Long story short, we threw the ball to Zay Jones and got a big victory. What a great way to start Monday Night Football. What a great way to start the Raider season. And I'm just going to throw this conspiracy out there. I'm a big fan of numbers, numerology, gematria, and stuff like that, and Illuminati, NWO, whatever you want to call it, conspiracy, I'm crazy, whatever. But I believe the Rams game ended with the score, they won with the score 33. I believe so. If I'm wrong, just take all of this as hearsay. The Raiders won with a score 33. In gematria and numerology, 33 is a Masonic Illuminati number where you need to go to the highest order to become a 34. So like in a lot of events or tragedies or whatever you see on screen, you're always going to find the number 33. Like on license plates, on cars, on police cars, on doors, on windows, on home addresses. The number 33 seems to be at all these events, and that's proclaiming that that event is controlled by the Masons, the Illuminati, or the people that be, or the elite, or the powers that be, whatever you want to call it. But long story short, this year the Super Bowl is in LA at SoFi Stadium. I made a proclamation a couple of weeks ago that this might be the Super Bowl because it's in LA of the Rams versus Raiders. The Rams ended the first game with a score 33, I believe, and the Raiders ended the first game with a score 33. And the Super Bowl's in LA. Was that an announcement from the media, the elite, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call it, that they are the chosen teams to be in the Super Bowl? The Rams versus Raiders? Anybody knows? And if that happens, I'll be happy, because I'll be able to watch the Raiders back in LA in a Super Bowl versus the LA Rams as well. LA Rams, LA Raiders, Oakland Raiders, you get it? The history doesn't change. Looked like we had a full crowd at Las Vegas Stadium, regardless of the vaccination stuff. Looked like they had a full crowd, and that I am proud of. That being said, what a Congratulations, what a big victory for Derek Carr. Did you see Derek Carr's hair? Did you see Derek Carr's hair? He looked like he hasn't cut his hair in like a month. Maybe he's going to do the beard thing like Ryan Fitzpatrick and the big hair. He's not going to cut it until they go to a Super Bowl or something. But it was pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to watching the game replay. Looking forward to watching the press conferences. Let me know what you guys thought. My MVP on offense was got to be Darren Waller. I mean, he's the one that kept us in the game. Him and Derek Carr. So that being said, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. These were my good and my bad of offense and defense as well. And I'm excited for this team. I'm positive. I'm trying not to go negative. Hey, but on any given week, you're going to get what you get from me. All I am is honest and truthful. That being said, pre-game, real quick, Rich Gannon was talking about Derek Carr and his leadership, and he called Derek Carr a pleaser. That all he wants to do is please everybody, but he can't do it all the time. That he can't please everyone. And that he's looking for John Gruden's validation. Rich Gannon, the former Gruden quarterback, said that about Derek Carr. He said Gruden needs to change, really, and tell quarterbacks that he's their guy. And then he said that Derek Carr is a little bit insecure and a people pleaser, and he can no longer be that way. So he's a little bit sour on Derek Carr and his leadership, and he's also sour on John Gruden. I don't know if that's telling, but it was pretty interesting to watch. Raiders get a big victory. Go Raiders, baby. I'll see you on next week's show.